Carnival Slayers.
Hey guys, welcome back to Slay the Talk this evening. I hope you're all well and doing good. So this evening we have Sandra Hordatt over from Trinidad. She is a carnival designer. She also does swimwear and loungewear as well. So Sandra, if you could just kind of introduce yourself to anyone who's never come across you before, and then we'll take it from there.
Hi everyone, I'm Sandra. I'm from Trinidad, and I've been known over the years as, one of the top designers, carnival designers here. Yeah, that's me.
All right, so let's kind of go back to the beginning. So how did you actually start? How did you actually enter the design world?
That would have happened maybe like 20 years ago. I actually started outside of Trinidad. I designed for a band in Washington, DC first. And then that was quite successful. I enjoyed the experience tremendously. So I approached a band locally in Trinidad. Back then, that was it band called Poison. And that's where it all began.
Okay, so talk to us about your experience of Poison, because I believe that's one of the legendary bands.
Yeah, Poison. Oh, that was great. I mean, the model is different to what it is right now. Each section was, I guess, responsible for their own masqueraders, for their food, their drinks. So it wasn't like the all-inclusive experience that we have now. But it was such a freeness, and yeah, I mean, you can't beat those days, you know?
Do you ever kind of like miss it? Do you ever just think to yourself, oh, if only they were still around?
I mean, we've evolved so much since then. The experience now is also great. So I really, yeah, we can't go back, you know? It's gotta keep going forward.
Okay, all right. So talk to us about some of the hurdles that you've experienced over your designing career.
Hurdles. I mean, there are many hurdles. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah. I don't wanna, can I move your screen up? No. All right. Hurdles during my career. You know, at the beginning, it's a struggle. Actually, just entering the carnival industry as a new designer, it's always a struggle. Like you have to, I guess, prove yourself, I guess, with any industry, but I just feel like the carnival industry is even more difficult to penetrate because, you have your core designers and they usually get all the work. Why experiment with a new designer when you have these core designers? So I think that's one of the biggest hurdles, just penetrating it, just getting your work in, gaining that recognition. And then of course staying on top, it's also a hurdle because every design, every year is like a new challenge, and you have to, it's a lot of pressure to sorry.
That's all right.
There's a lot of pressure to be great and be the best and stay on top.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So talk to us about some of your inspirations. Do you kind of use like music? Is there specific colors? Do you go off of like how your day's been?
For me, it's all about accentuating a woman's body. Like I'm obsessed with our bodies, and really accentuating the waist, the hips, the legs. So that is really my inspiration when I'm working on a mannequin, a form. I just wanna make sure that each element is, it's like it's highlighted, but in a very sexy, subtle kind of way. That's my aesthetic.
I see. Have you got any stories about just kind of any crazy inspirations you've had, like just the most unusual, you would never get your experience, your ideas from, but
like for colors, I always go to nature. So I would, yeah, God is the best artist. Like, if you research birds or flowers, like the color combinations are wild. So, yeah.
Yeah. Are there any kind of very unlikely colors that you've put together and it's actually come out really well?
I guess like recently I experimented with blush and gray and cute and AB. Like, that costume was called Bella for Tribe.
Yeah.
It wasn't the typical road colors, carnival colors, but I was going through this really feminine phase. So and it worked. It really did work. Women loved it.
Lovely. Okay. And do you have any colors that you don't really like working with? Because I've asked it to a few designers just to see if there's a common theme going on there. So tell us what your worst colors are to work with.
Worst colors to work with, I think for the road might be brown because it always kind of looks muddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've done black and it was wicked. Kind of shocked myself with black. And actually, people really like black on the road. So, yeah.
Okay.
It's all about it's all about how you combine the colors.
True. It is true. I mean, what's the most amount of colors you've kind of worked with, do you think? If you could kind of just give us an idea.
One costume.
Yeah.
I did a multicolor black base with multicolor ones. So that was every color. Every color. I did that for Skin Marvelous. Yeah, and it was a hit. It was good. It was well received.
Nice. Are there any kind of like a mixture of colors or any particular prints that you've done before and it has turned out well, but just for you just because maybe it's too much of a headache, you'd maybe avoid using it in the future if you can?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I've used in terms of color, not really, but maybe in terms of materials. There's materials is always like an experiment, and you live and you learn. Yeah. One year I designed a costume for a tribe called Zion Warriors, and I used a combination of a foil stuck on a board, and when women sweat, it started to peel off.
Oh,
And
no.
I almost died. I had to leave the band early. I went home, I had to cry, and then I came back for last lap. Like I couldn't deal. Like
Oh,
for me, the costume needs to be perfect and it needs to stay that way till the end. And you need to be able to pack it up and keep it, as a souvenir. So that year was that was pressure.
Oh my gosh. All right. So with that experience then, have you or will you try it again? Or is that just something where, if a band doesn't necessarily tell you to do that, you're just not going to try not to do it in future?
Oh no, well, I mean, as I said, you live and you learn. So it's all about experimenting and maybe we use the wrong glue and we just have to go again. Like for example, when you use the glue gun, you can only start on certain combinations of materials, because it won't last as long as if you use, let's say, Evo stick. So, it's any process. It's part of the process.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about use of materials because I'll be honest with you, I don't know if it's down to me just being reckless with my costume. It gets to Monday or Carnival Day, you get excited. I know it's supposed to be pretty mass, but we will go wild. Let's be honest. So I will find by the end of the day, my costume is wrecked. Like I've come back home with half.
Wild one on the road, huh? Are you a wild girl?
Yeah, I would say so. I
Okay,
would say,
so there's a disclaimer. If you're gonna be really wild and you're gonna be running under a hose and getting wet, like we can't help you. There's nothing we can do, okay?
this is what I'm saying. But then, is it a case where maybe there's some designers that maybe need, if there were any tips you were to give about different materials in regard, even with the example you gave about the glue, or is
Yeah.
there something that masqueraders need to be doing to try and keep their costume together today?
I mean, obviously you have posers and then you have revelers, but in terms of preserving a costume, sorry, you mean like with raw materials, like when we use raw materials, or what does the masquerader need to do to preserve their costume?
Well, either one. Is it something that we're doing wrong, us as masqueraders, or is it
Well,
designers?
in terms of production with your costume, I know with my experience with Tribe, we try to make sure that we use the best raw materials, the best glues, and we really try when it comes to that. In terms of masqueraders, I would suggest you don't go under the hose or don't go to the cool zone. The cool zone feels really good, but that's for Monday, not Tuesday. Not washable.
Or maybe we just need to think more about costume choice, right? Maybe rather than going for, the whole big front line.
Agreed. If you're not a poser, then I would suggest you don't go with a front line. You wear monokini, that way you're comfortable all day long and you can do what you want.
You're right. You are
Or
right.
you can just have a time.
So are there any kind of mishaps you've had on the road, and not necessarily from something you've designed, maybe from another completely different band, just a day where maybe you've had to just relax and just be a masquerader?
Oh, well, I mean, I've seen bras pop. Like that to me is the most traumatic thing. And I'm willing to help any masquerader in any costume when that happens. So yeah, that to me would be, I mean, that's a real killjoy for your carnival. That could really, I tend to walk with like a little mini scissors, needle and thread, like the works, so I can help, on the road.
Yeah. So do you find that, well, in terms of like bras popping off, is that more of a wire bra mishap, or is that more of a non-wire bra mishap from what you see?
I've seen it both ways, especially for women with, that are heavily endowed. It's a
Yeah.
lot of pressure on straps, and you're constantly jumping. So,
Yeah.
things happen.
Okay. All right. And have you seen any mishaps with backpacks? I haven't seen that, but
With backpacks, not really, no. No,
no.
unless rain, then that's a big mishap.
Yeah.
And your feathers are running, you're wearing a red costume and all your skin is red, like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
most that might happen with backpacks.
Okay. All right. And going back to the mishap with bras now, just for anyone who watches this back,
Yeah.
just so they know, that maybe they could just have it in the back of their head for future. Let's say they've gone to Carnival, they didn't come with an extra top or anything like that, and boom, it just happens. That's it. Like, what is the best thing for them to do?
I guess if it depends on where it's popped, because sometimes, you can still tie your straps as a halter,
Okay.
to me, that is the quickest solution. I mean, if it seldom ever pops in the middle, it's usually a strap, that you can either tack on, and usually we have a fix it station somewhere in the band. Like if you see any official on the road, you can ask them, where can I get this fixed, and so it's usually, we usually prepared for the masqueraders.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about the carnivals that you've actually been to. So, we're talking islands or countries, actual bands? Like, where have you been?
I think after Trinidad, my favorite might be Jamaica.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
What's the reason for that? Why do you think that?
because it's such a great balance with carnival and beaches. It's and the vibe is always amazing. Music is a really good experience. Um, Aside from that, I think Barbados. I played Masters for Crop Over once, and it poured. Let me tell you, it poured. We were drenched, but it was such a great vibe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Barbados is definitely at the top. I was really looking forward to Grenada this year. That was going to be my first time, but
Oh,
Corona happened. Yeah.
Miss Rona, good old Miss Rona, eh? So what were your plans then? Because I imagine you weren't necessarily just going to go there for one day and come back.
No, I worked on this band called Oro in
Mhm.
Grenada, and oh gosh, I it breaks my heart to talk about it, honestly. I had a lot of like feelings, emotions invested in this band, and it was going to be good. Like the vibe leading up to that was so amazing. Um, yeah, sad.
Mm. So, but that's a luxury brand, right? Or am I mistaken? It is, right? Okay. So talk to us about your experience of luxury brands versus, we say, normal brands. You know what I'm saying?
Um, I think for me, I'm not the wild one on the road,
Hmm.
so I really appreciate the luxury, you know. I
Okay.
appreciate the service on the road.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. And what would you say is like the best luxury brand you've experienced, or luxury band, I should say, that you've actually already experienced, if you played with one
Um, Honestly, I would have to say Tribe.
already? Okay.
Yeah, for luxury experiences so far.
Mm.
I mean, Oro, I know Oro was gonna be great too, but yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone who hasn't experienced Tribe, what should they expect?
Uh, the first word that comes to mind is large. A large band. So that is something you have to be prepared for.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, times have changed so much now. Like, being a large band might not be something you might want to be a part of anymore. It's so crazy that to think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you prefer large bands or smaller bands, or you kind of like in the middle? You kind of like them in
I
between?
kind of put it in the middle. I like it in the middle. I love seeing, a lot of new faces.
Mhm.
Um, but I, I guess with a large band, if you get lost, it's like goodbye. Might not see you. So you just definitely have to have a meeting point. Okay.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Very, very true. Very true. So talk to us about some of the carnivals that you haven't actually been to. And we're talking like really, even if they're smaller ones that no one really knows about.
Yeah. I've always wanted to experience Notting Hill. I've been,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I always
Okay.
think that is pretty good. Like just the temperature alone, just experiencing that should be interesting.
The thing is, over here during summer, you never really know what you're going to get. Is it either going to be really hot or is it pouring down with rain? You just never really know, you know? Yeah. So that would be interesting. What do you think it will be like? What do you picture it, if you could predict?
Notting Hill. I picture it being kind of chilly. I picture like Caribbean people just uniting, I don't know. I guess like with any carnival, like just great energy.
Okay. And are there any bands that you've seen that you think you might want to maybe work with when you come over here, or do you think for the first time you might just want to play maths and then see from there?
Yeah, I would love to just experience it,
Hmm.
but I have worked with bands in, in London, but I've just never experienced Notting Hill.
I see. I see. All right. So talk to us a little bit about some of the bands that you've worked with over here then. No? Okay. We'll skip that part. We'll skip.
Honestly, that's
We'll skip. We'll skip. That's fine. That's cool.
oh my God.
Oh my gosh. All right. You know what? Have you ever been to Berlin Carnival?
No,
No. Okay. Japan? Have you ever been to Japan?
no,
No, not yet. All
no,
right.
no. And all
Timor?
for me, all been Caribbean. I've never even been New York Carnival. I've
Oh,
designed, I've designed for these places, but I've never experienced it.
oh my gosh. Okay. What is the reason for that though? Is it just because you're so busy with sorting out the ones for the Caribbean, you just haven't had a chance?
Yeah, because they're just back to back, so you're constantly working.
Yeah.
You're constantly working on your next design, which was such a great feeling as a designer. Um, yeah, but this year, well, sorry, last year, 2020, I was supposed to change that. My plan was to take part in every carnival that I designed for because it was my 20th anniversary. So yeah.
Yes. Congratulations on that as well. Oh no, so you're saying we passed the 20th already, right?
Sorry?
So we're saying that you've passed the 20, so the 20th was last year, or would it have been this year?
2020 was my 20th.
Okay, all right. So did you have any plans to celebrate that specific day, or were you just thinking that we're just celebrating all year
No,
and that's it?
I was taking that entire year to celebrate.
Yeah, well, why not? Why not? I don't see anything wrong with that. But, like when you first started, or even 10 years ago, did you ever picture yourself even having a 20th year anniversary for designing?
No, not really. I mean, it started off as just a hobby, just an outlet,
Hmm.
to express my talent.
Yeah, and kind of gone from there. Okay, okay.
I fell in love with. Yeah.
Mm. So, like over the 20 years, then, what would you say has been the best progression that you've seen? And it could be in regards to the types of costumes, it could be in regards to materials, anything.
Um, I would say like traveling to China to choose materials.
Okay.
Yeah, that has been the most awesome experience.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. Um, you could be in like the shoe district and get raw materials that would work amazing on costumes. So it's like the brain is just constantly going, constantly seeing things in a different light.
Okay. All right. And what would you like to see improve that you haven't really seen make much progression over the last 20 years?
Um, I think for me, I would love to see designers benefit more from
Okay.
content. Yeah, I would
Mm.
love to see that one because we work really hard, and we sell bands. So it's only fair that we get more.
Mm. Now, when you say that, do you mean as in more profit? Do you mean as in more recognition? Or do you mean both and other things as well?
I think I think a combination of both. Yeah, I mean, the recognition comes naturally.
Hmm.
If you do good work, you get recognized for it.
Yeah.
But in terms of the finances, it'd be good if it could pay off better. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And how do you think that change could be done? Do you think that's something that's down to carnival bands to do so that you guys can benefit more from it? Oh, you froze there. Sorry, you're back. I think you're back. Oh, she's frozen again. All right, let's just give it a second.
All right. Mhm. Hello?
I can see you now. I think you're back. I
Yeah.
think you're back. Oh,
Can
it's
you hear
still
me
frozen.
now?
There you go.
Ah,
Yes, I think you're back now.
okay, good.
Sorry. Go back again. In terms of carnival bands, being like kind of making it so that you guys can benefit from it more. Do you
Yeah.
think you would say basically maybe in terms of increasing the price slightly, or were you saying that there's other things that they could maybe do as well?
Yeah, I was just saying that just a small percentage of each costume itself, you know, because I feel like it will give the designer an incentive to. You want your costume to really sell so that, you get a lot of masqueraders interested in it,
Mhm.
and you profit from each person that registers. I just think that's fair.
Okay, so maybe kind of like a commission type of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
that's interesting. But has that ever been discussed before, ever at any point in your career, or has no one ever mentioned it?
Um, I mean, I've discussed it.
Yeah.
We've discussed it a lot, but maybe we'll see. We'll see how things go. It's
Okay.
about to get different. So,
Yeah. Okay. All right. And do you think there's anything that designers can do to help each other a bit more?
I think we are very supportive of each other as it is. We have groups, and you need a certain color feathers. We just message everybody, and I think it's really good. There's a lot of competition, obviously, but then there's a lot of camaraderie as well.
Okay. I see. I see. And what do you think about the unity between designers? Do you think it's there? Like, what would you rate it out of 10?
Oh, what would I rate it?
Yeah. Out of
Community. Um, I really enjoy my fellow designers. I really do. Um, you just know who you can bounce ideas off of, or who you could, approach for assistance. Like, I think there's great balance within the community.
Okay. Good, good, good. That's what I like to hear. That is what I like
Yeah,
to hear.
yeah.
So talk to us about band launches then. Talk to us just about some of the ones you've been to, if there's any that have stood out for you over the 20 years that you've been around.
Girl, y'all need to check Oro's band launch out. I
Mm.
think just last night I was talking about it. I think it was just a great mix of um costume
Mhm.
and theater. We
Mm.
had the jabs on stage, breathing fire, like, with we had dances with flags. It was just, I think it was a really good. I mean, honestly, another band that puts on a really good launch too is Lost Tribe.
Okay.
Yeah, big up to Val. He Yeah, they put on a really good show as well. Like, you stand there and, like, it's not only about the costumes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is there anywhere that you think bands sometimes go wrong when it comes to band launches?
Yeah, I think it's a show, and you need to consider it as a show. So, it needs to have an a great beginning and something to capture you in the middle and an intense ending,
Mm,
just to keep you in awe. So
yeah,
it's not only about focusing on the models and the costumes, but it's the show, it's the presentation.
as well. Okay. And have you ever had any, or I say had any, have you ever seen any mishaps at any band launches where even if it's like a consistent thing and you're just like, guys.
Girl, yeah, I've seen their model of mine just disappear on stage. Like she just fell. Yeah. But you know what was great about that? Like she fell and two other models just came to her rescue, lifted her up, and then the crowd went wild. Once you recover from something like that, people
Yeah,
are usually very accepting. So
yeah.
they turn a very embarrassing moment into something special. So, but I've
Mm.
seen it all. I've seen it all.
Yeah. So then in terms of models then, and because I don't know how often you go to, let's say, photo shoots for the marketing of costumes and stuff. But how often do you see model unity like that, even if it's in other types of situations?
um, yeah, I think the models usually get along really well. There might be one or two that are a little more difficult or a little more diva,
Mm.
but generally, I think they support each other. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Like I see it backstage.
Yeah. And have you ever seen any kind of diva behavior from models, but where you think it's actually justified? Because it could be, I don't know. It's possible.
Not really. Usually the divas are just generally difficult.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
But the energy on stage might be worth it. You know what I mean? So all about balance.
So would you say that any, because, well, from what I've been told, when you get models that do kind of display quite difficult behavior, depending on maybe the photographer or the band or the designer they're dealing with, they could easily turn around and say, you know what? You can't come to my shoot again. That's it. So would you say that the ones where they have that kind of diva attitude and they always do it no matter what, do you think the reason why um, they haven't necessarily been blacklisted is because of the energy that they have on stage, or not
Yeah.
necessarily?
I
Okay.
yeah, I think that is it there. Like you just hit the nail on the head.
Mm.
Um, it's like some models, they come in and they're nice, their energy is good, but then they once they put on that costume, they turn into something else. Okay. Like
Something
it
like
does
Aston
something to
Villa,
them.
maybe.
Maybe for them, they need to psych up themselves and, just to be ready. So that's the energy they start to give off. But yeah, something changes, something something happens. But then it's worth it because you see the pictures after or the videos and you're like, I'm gonna use her again next year. You
Yeah.
know, she was worth it. She was worth the trouble backstage.
Oh, God. So would you say most of the time then that the diva behavior is literally just maybe whilst they're getting ready and on stage, or do you often find that it kind of
Yeah, and then
continues?
they take off the costume after and they're ready to pump after the launch and it's like normal again. So yeah, you just have to deal with it and move on.
Yeah, no, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. All right. So if you could describe your designing style in 3 words, how would you describe it?
In 3 words,
Hmm.
um, sexy,
Mm-hmm.
but covered.
Okay.
Um, feminine.
Okay. Cool. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. Now I want to talk about the loungewear as well. How
Yeah.
did you, how, when, why?
When,
Tell-
how, when, why, girl? Just like many, I was out of work. All of a sudden, it happened like overnight, and I, I mean, I must admit that mentally, I went into a little bit of a depression
Mhm,
because it's like, you have your entire year planned out and then nothing,
mhm,
silence. Um, it took it took a lot. Like it took a team of angels to really get this going, this new project. And I am so grateful. I'm grateful to every angel that had a part to play in getting this off the ground. Um, and they're still coming. Angels are still coming because I also have to admit that even though I feel confident designing, running a business is a whole next thing that I don't really have a lot of experience in.
okay.
So it's a work in progress. I know it looks really good on the gram, like, ooh, look at her. She just went from carnival into sleepwear. Wow. But behind the scenes, it's a
Mhm,
lot. It's a lot.
mm,
After Christmas, Christmas, the sleepwear did so well. So well. But then I struggled to get my head back in the game and start because it was almost like starting all over again, which, these things I just didn't anticipate.
mm.
So marketing, everything, new styles, everything. It's like I have to reinvent in time for Valentine's. So it's all a learning process and taking it one step at a time.
So you can do, right? That is literally what you can
Yeah,
do. So
yeah.
is that why
But,
you've kept it
I
Sandy's
feel the potential in this brand. Like this brand can do so much.
Mhm.
So I'm just riding that wave. Sometimes it dips. I just have to go with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because you've been doing costume design for so long. I guess you would probably think it should be somewhat easy to then step into another side of
Right.
things.
So, I mean, Carnival definitely prepared me for the production, customer service, but, there's some stuff with on the business side that I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, help, I need help over here. Accountant, like, yeah, it's
Oh
been
my
a
God.
challenge.
So I'm guessing that's kind of why you decided to call it Sandy's Angels, am I right? Or was that a thing from before anyway?
It was actually a thing for Carnival. Like I had planned to kind of, I mean, I'm Sandy Nation. Like I'm known as Sandy Nation on the road,
Okay.
and I wanted to rebrand it and call it Sandy's Angels because I feel like, girl, I have some masqueraders over the years. They're just so loyal and they are like angels. Um, and also I mean, I'm not getting any younger. So I had this vision of, these angels representing the brand all over the Caribbean. And that might take a little bit of heat off of me,
Yes.
you know. So that was, that was my thought process. and then Corona. So I already knew that I loved the name Sandy's Angels, and it just fit, still fit, for the sleepwear.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does make it when it comes to that, when I think about it,
Yeah,
it
it
really,
does. Yeah, so it works. And whenever next there is a carnival, I have an angel army out there
yeah.
ready for the road. You know what I mean? So you see how it goes?
Do you know what? Do you think, I don't know how possible it would be, but would you ever somehow combine carnival wear with sleepwear? I don't know how that would look, but
Actually, I did a costume for Jamaica where I used satin. Um, the costume was called Stardust, and my girl, that look, if I may say so myself, it really looked beautiful, so feminine, and it started at the waist and it went all the way down to the ankle, just a frill of satin, really pretty. So I would not, yeah, I would say yes. Also for Oro, I did some wings with satin and I airbrushed them. Beautiful. They look like liquid, So who knows?
you never know. You never know.
Mm, yeah.
What about like, again, I don't know how possible it would be, but having some kind of carnival themed sleepwear. I don't know.
Okay. Hey, just throwing that out there. Okay, okay. I like that.
I don't know. I'm testing. I'm just seeing.
Yeah. Brainstorming. I love that.
All
Call
right.
you up and be like, hey, this is working. I'm liking
What?
it. Yeah.
So why sleepwear specifically though? Because if you were going to go down any other avenue, you could have done. There's various different things, but why sleepwear specifically?
Because that is just where we were. We were all at home. We were all in quarantine. Nowhere to go. And I was actually doing like a lot of cooking videos on during quarantine, and it kept me sane. I know it kept a lot of my viewers sane too. Like they were really looking forward every day to if 2 days pass and I didn't cook, people messaging me like, "Hey, you ain't cooking 2 days or what? What's going on?" I'm like, "Okay, time to cook again," I just felt the need to, even though you're home, to still get up, still, wash your hair, put on something cute, and just, face the day kind of thing. So, that was all in the thought process of what next? What next? We're home. I mean, design is my passion. So I just started to think of designing stuff to be home and look cute in.
Well,
And I had to work with materials that were accessible locally.
yeah.
And yeah, so everything is local.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your cooking videos now, what were you cooking?
Oh, you could check out my Instagram page, Sandy like a beach. I cook everything, everything. I mean, my favorite dishes like curry goat,
Mm,
uh, one of my favorites. My lasagna is pretty good too.
okay.
But
Okay.
I make a very good, like healthy pancake, gluten
Mm-hmm.
free. Yeah, with honey. Yeah. Check it out, girl. When I say plenty. I did a lot of cooking. I
Yeah.
didn't even know I could cook that much.
So
But
do you still do them now, or have you kind of just taken a break from it for the time being?
sorry if I what?
Do you still do the videos now, or have you kind of just taken a break from it?
I kind of took a break. yeah, life happened, and Sandy's Angels has been my main focus.
Yeah.
So, but I was actually approached like 2 weeks ago to do a cooking show. So I'm
Hmm.
like, I'm not gonna say no. Gonna, I'm gonna accept all my blessings.
Yes, of course, of course, of
Yeah.
course.
So who knows? Might start back soon.
Might be Sandy the chef. I don't know. We'll see. We will
Angels
see.
cooking, who knows? I don't know.
We'll see. So kind of
Yeah,
going forward, looking into the future now, let's say in the next 5 years,
yeah.
where do you see your brand going? And when I say your brand, I'm talking about obviously the carnival costumes and also the sleepwear as well.
Yeah. Honestly, for now, I'm focused on the sleepwear. I'm focused on Sandy's Angels. I have a really good opportunity to design a costume coming up soon, which you'll see.
Mm.
But in terms of carnival, I've like kind of who's that?
Yeah.
You know, like there's no telling when the next carnival is gonna be.
Mm.
So I cannot afford to really dream about it, or I just need to stay focused
Mhm.
right now, in the now.
Yeah.
And when that time comes, girl, it's gonna be on. You know what I mean? That costume is gonna be lit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just staying focused for now.
Okay.
And Tiny Angels, the sky is the limit for that brand. Like
Yeah.
it's really, really exciting, you know?
No, definitely. And also, what feedback have you had about the sleepwear as well?
Christmas was like carnival.
Mm.
I kid you not. It felt like every week we were distributing a section. The section went out, everybody's happy, and you're like, oh, take a breather and back in it again for the next week's production and distribution. It was pretty blow mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. And I imagine Valentine's Day or coming up to Valentine's Day is going to be another.
Yeah, so I'm working on some new colors, some new styles, and even some new products. I'm
Mm.
excited about that. So stay tuned.
And then we will
Yeah,
see. We will see. I wonder if
yeah.
you've had any feedback from any women saying that since kind of like wearing the sleepwear, things have been spiced up a bit in the bedroom, like, I
But
don't know if you've had any.
what I have noticed though is a lot of men buy Sandy's Angels. Like behind the scenes, I get to witness all this love. No, it's really, really great.
Yeah.
Men are like asking for advice on sending me pictures of their girl, and oh, they put so much effort into it. And the surprises, please can we surprise at work, or like I love that, and I love going all out, like helping them, make it happen. So that is definitely something that I look forward to. Valentine's
Mm.
is fun as well.
Yeah, no, it's I imagine it is going to be very, very busy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you been tagged in anything from any girlfriends or fiancés where they've been like, oh my God, my boyfriend surprised
Oh,
me, Sandy.
yes, of course, that's what I'm saying. It's so good. And a lot of them say, it's he got me a gift, but I'm not sure if it's for me or if it's for him,
Yeah.
because he's gonna benefit from it too, right? So yeah. And then a lot of our customers look forward to our deliveries by a handsome delivery guy, Nigel.
Mm.
Yeah, they look forward to him. He's really good on the eyes. So the ladies, they get all dressed up and stuff when they know their packages are coming.
Mm. So
Yeah,
this is the thing. So that must be like an added bit of customer service, because I don't know of any other places where you order something and get it hand delivered by some handsome guy. Like, I've never seen that before.
Thank you. Thanks for seeing me. Yeah. Carnival has taught me that. Carnival has taught me customer service.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean,
That's
you do find one or two disgruntled customers in between, and I try my best to go above and beyond. I call them personally, apologize, if anything goes wrong. So, yeah, you just have to keep at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you were to say you've got any pet peeves when it comes to designing, what would you say maybe your one or two top pet peeves are?
I mean, I don't know if it's really a pet peeve, but it's like, okay, so you're trying to do something new and you're trying to be all professional. So I have a website, and I just thought customers would go directly to the website and place their orders, and we do it really like a scale kind of thing. But a lot of people message me. They message me and they want me to place the order for them.
Right.
So I've been dealing with that a lot. So in between everything, I have to be placing orders as well,
Oh my
But
gosh.
I think that's probably what we are used to. Yes, we go on Amazon or we go on our website and we place our order. But if you know the designer, you kind of want that, special treatment. So it's not really a pet peeve, but yeah, that's one thing that, yeah.
I get you. But it's just that little bit of added pressure, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And then with my memory, I'm like, okay, well, message me the order because, I put it through my orders. I'm like, wait, I don't think I entered that person's order. Like, it's just a little added pressure.
Oh gosh. All right. And
But
give
it
us
happens in Carnival too. It happens in Carnival as well. Like, oh gosh, can you register for me? Yes, I really want to play. Register for me. So, yeah, new set.
It's a lot. It is a lot. And give us 5 things that you can't live without.
5 things I can't live without. I would have said Carnival, but obviously
Well, you're living, so it can't be that. You're living. So
being creative. Definitely being creative. Does food and water count? I'm a real foodie. I'm a real foodie. So I definitely can't do without my food. I mean, I don't wear much makeup, but what I do wear, I need it. I need to have it. Where I reach. What else I have to have? I can't think of anything else that I
Three. That's cool. You gave us three. Thank you so much for your time, my dear. What I'd like you to do just before you go, just plug where we can find absolutely everything to do with you, your designs, sleepwear, Carnival.
Okay. My personal page is Sandy Like a Beach on Instagram. And then there's at Sandy's Angels, where you can find all the sleepwear options. And the website is sandysangels.com, where you can place your orders or you can
Perfect. All right. And guys, just remember as well, for anyone who is watching, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is in Carnival Slayers Instagram bio, or you can search Carnival Slayers on YouTube, or you can search Slay the Talk, and I'm pretty sure it will come up. Make sure you follow this lovely lady here, buy her sleepwear. Guys, just it doesn't matter the occasion, Valentine's Day.
Stop.
Right. Exactly.
Support the designers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do just that. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. And Sandy, again, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's been fun. All right. Have a good evening and make sure you stay safe, okay?
Bye.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Oh gosh, let me end this recording.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this week's Carnival Slayers Slay the Talk. Make sure you like, share and subscribe to our channel.
Carnival Slayers. Carnival Slayers.